Hello everyone, this is Cindy from ideastimestwo. Welcome back to our channel. Today I have a short tutorial. It's actually something super easy, as most of my tutorials are. I like easy crafts, and I hope everybody's doing well and has some time to get your hands dirty this weekend playing at your craft table. I probably should be getting ready for the snowstorm that we're supposed to get tomorrow. Right now the weather's beautiful, the wind has died down, the sun is shining, the sky is blue, but I know it's temporary. We're supposed to get about 8 inches of snow tomorrow, and so I probably should make sure that I'm ready for that, but I would rather craft. So what we're going to do today is play with some tags. I think we'll only have time in this video to do one small project, but kind of a little pocket that can be used for a number of different things. And I've started this one, but I'm going to put that to the side and start another one. I'm working on a number of projects that I'll be able to use these for. So what I'm going to start with is a size 8 tag. This is a Tim Holtz tag, and if I remember right, it measures 6 1/4 inches. I'll double check that. 6 1/4 inches. And it's just a plain tag. It's already reinforced, and if you don't have a pack, you can easily make your own tags. It's 6 1/4 inches tall and 3 inches, 3 1/8 inches wide, and reinforced holes, just small notches on the side. And so first thing I'm going to do is score from the top 2 inches, and this paper is pretty thick, so I'm going to go through here or over the line a couple of different times. Oh, excuse me, Lizzie. Make sure that's scored well, and then I'm going to flip it over, and from the bottom I'm going to score at 1 1/2 inches. And I should keep that out. I seem to have lost my bone folder, so this is all I have right now for folding, and it's this lightweight, cheap plastic. I'm so upset that I lost my bone folder. I have no clue where it is. So I'm going to fold it up from the bottom, give it a good burnishing, and then from the top, same thing. You can see that's already the foundation, just a flip. And you know, lots of different things you could do from here. But what I'm going to do is using my kind of standard vintage photo, I'm going to ink the edges of the whole thing. I'm not going to worry about being too neat, because I'm going to actually pretty much ink the whole thing. But I want to make sure the edges, front and back, since it flips over, are nice and dark. You know, if the vintage look is not your thing, and you don't like the look of the inked edges, then don't worry about that. I like the vintage look, so I have a tendency to pretty much ink everything. I'm giving the folds a little extra ink on. Oh, this one nobody's going to see on the inside anyway, but I'm going to. Too late. I already did it. All right. And then using a blending tool. This is just a makeup brush from Target, I think. I got this from my sister in some Happy Mail, and I think it's the e.l.f. brand is sold at Target. I'm going to do pretty much the whole thing. I want this to be pretty grungy. You know, if you don't have a makeup brush, any other blending tool is fine. And don't need to worry about the bottom because that's going to be inside. And flip that over. And do both sides. Ink pad is starting to run a little low. And this is just the first layer. If you would rather you know, stamp words on there, or polka dots, or you know, stipple or spray ink or something, lots of different ways you can do that for the background. But I wanted this to be a little grungy. So next, what I'm going to do is use a piece of corrugated. Well, it started out as a box, an Amazon box. Those things come in handy for lots of things. And I'm going to use this as a stamp. And so this is the right size for what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stamp the top two. If you divide it into thirds-ish, I'm going to just do the top two. And you know, if you have some other rubber stamp or something that you would prefer to use, and the last one I did, I got it too dark, so I was a little worried about pressing down too hard, but and I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. That only needs to be on the top because the bottom is going to be folded up. And so this is just another layer. I don't want anything to be too neat, because I want this to be vintagey and grungy. That's kind of my preferred look. Now at this stage, if you are, I'm leaving my thumbprints on here. I'll have to cover that up. I'm going to make this into a pocket. So if you don't have a sewing machine, this is where you would glue it. Just a strip here, and fold it up. I'm going to sew all the way around mine, so I'm going to do that now, and I will be right back. All right, so I just sewed all the way around the outside of this, including the bottom, even though the bottom didn't need it, because there's a fold there, but I wanted it to be consistent all the way around. And then if you do really any sewing on paper, what's on the top is nice and smooth, but the underneath, where the bobbin thread comes up, usually is a little, I don't know, it's not quite as neat, and it's kind of bumpy. So I'm just going to go over that to kind of hide that, you know, the white core of the tag. And so I'm just going to do that on here because I think I might wind up gluing this down in my journal. And so that's the basic. And then now comes the fun part, of course, and that is embellishing and finding something to put inside and all of that. So I have some things, a few items that I have already kind of put aside. Right now I'm working on a sewing journal. So I have some cotton ribbon, a simplicity ribbon, as you might guess, because there's the packaging, some antique lace, and just a few other things that I thought I might use to embellish this. And I think I just want to put something up here, maybe a cluster, something down here, and on the inside I'm going to put something in the pocket, but I still might want to do a little embellishing. I'm not 100% sure, which is why I have a stack of things, and along with some other stuff that I've got laying around that I might be able to use, and we'll have to see. But for now, this is what I have out, and I don't know what I was thinking with that, but I definitely don't need, out of the way, Lizzie, that. But I was thinking for right here of doing a cluster, maybe with this as the top, and I was thinking it needed maybe a little something dark behind it. This is going to be, I think, very monochromatic. I'm not sure how I feel about that at the moment, but that's kind of what I have here. So I think I'll go ahead and glue this down. I also have some garment pins and vintage buttons laying around on my desk that I might use as well. Kind of have to see as I go. So I'm just going to rough up the edges all the way around on here. Try to be consistent with the look. And I don't want it to get too big either, because it will be covered by the ribbon if I do, so for the closure. And I'm going to ink the edges on this as well. I brought out some doily. I thought that might be kind of cute behind it. Just a little piece, but I also have some ribbon or lace, and this is antique lace, and maybe just a little snippet off of there would be super cute. I think I'm going to go with the textile, so we have a little different texture. And there was a little glue residue on this, so I think I'll take it from the glue end. I don't need the whole piece. I need to be a little judicious. I'm almost out of my beautiful antique laces. So maybe something just simple like that. I think so. Because I'm going to put this ribbon on there as the closure. I don't want it to become too big and bulky, and it's still going to go in a journal. I think I'm going to put it on the inside of the back cover. I've been working on this journal. Seems like forever, but I finally succumbed to COVID, and I just got off of quarantine and finally went back to work this week. But boy, it's exhausting. It was exhausting before I got sick, but I've now become a napper, which is something I've literally never been my whole life. I hate naps. I get home from work and I just go to I go to sleep. Put that a little angle. We'll offset that a little bit. And then I was thinking, I had this ephemera card, and this had been up at the top, Barber's Irish Flax Threads, and I thought that might, so I just cut this off, or tore it off, and I think I'll put that down on the bottom. So when it's closed, it still has a little something going on there down on the bottom. Right here. I don't want too much behind it. Like I said, I want to keep it fairly clean. But maybe a little of this. Of course, that piece isn't big enough. So even though it's still going to be monochromatic, fairly monochromatic, this will give it maybe a cohesive look, more of a cohesive look. Make sure I didn't cut it or tear it too big or too small. And once again, I'm going to ink up those edges. I like to be consistent, to have a consistent look all the way through. So either I ink everything or I don't ink anything. When I finish this, I might need to run out and make sure I have enough cat food, maybe some milk before the weather turns. But Monday there's no school anyway. It's a teacher work day. We're at the end of the semester, so it's time to get report cards done. So I feel kind of bad. It's the first time we've had snow, really, and any snow of depth in a couple of years, and there's going to be no snow day, but the kids won't be at school, so they'll be, well, not that the kids are in school anyway. We haven't gone back yet in my school district. At the level that I teach at, elementary kids have already been back, but not the high school kids. But a snowfall on a day you have off anyway just doesn't seem quite as exciting. All right, so fairly simple on the inside. I cut this out. It fits perfectly in the pocket. However, this one would add some color. I could cut this one out and do the same thing, but it doesn't quite fit the style. So I guess I'm kind of stuck now that I started doing this monochromatically. I think I'm kind of stuck, but it's a cute little thread card, and I thought I would And hopefully this will fit back in there once I wrap this around there, but don't have a lot of this antique lace left of this little size. It was my favorite, so I've used it up pretty much. And so it's a little poofy, but super cute, right? And I'm going to then use the ribbon as a closure, and I'm going to go through. If you're making your own, you'll want to make sure that you reinforce the holes, because you don't want your ribbon to tear your tag. But you go through the top, and then down from behind. Tie your bow. Obviously, that's not going to be even. A little bit more. Still uneven. Let's see, this one is too long. Which one is this? The top or the bottom? Bottom. All right, we'll try that again. It's probably still uneven. The way I generally solve that, instead of tying and retying until I get it to the right length, is just to cut it. So that maybe is what I'm going to have to do. Oh, that's frustrating. Your ribbon, so this ribbon is 20 inches long, and I wanted it long enough to be able to tie in a bow and to have a decent tail hanging down. So it's 20 inches. Well, it's getting better, right? There we go. Pretty even this time. So the tag was a size 8, which is 6 1/4 inches tall, 3 1/8 inches wide, if you need to make your own, and 20 inches of ribbon for the closure. And this one could be used just like this. You could use it as a tag on a gift. You could put a gift card in there. It's a little small for like the credit size gift cards, but you can get gift cards in so many different sizes now. I'm sure you could find one that would fit in there. Or a money gift. This one I may glue down on the inside of my back cover of my the journal that I'm currently working on, which, as you might guess, is a sewing journal. But super simple, and I think super cute, and you can embellish as elaborately or as simply as you want. You could do multiple layers of stamping and multiple layers of just you name it. And I thought it was super cute. So this is our project. And it didn't take very long. Start to finish, it took less than 30 minutes. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you like this little project and you give it a try. If you're not already a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button, and for notifications, hit the bell. And if you haven't already checked out our Etsy shop, I'll have the link for you below. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic weekend. If you are in the path of the snowstorm this weekend, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.